All right guys, I'm gonna give you 4 tips how to ride safer. I'm not gonna be like, oh, don't go fast, always wear a helmet, don't do wheelies. Of course, we all like to do that, but we want to do that as safely as possible and try to avoid some simple mistakes that are like really simple, man. It's like, trust me, you're gonna ride so much better, you're gonna feel safer. So the number one thing to avoid is a 4-way intersection. So what happens is a car comes from your opposite direction and it turns left right in front of you. That's the number one type of accident that happens here in the US, at least. And believe it or not, it happened to me a couple of years ago. I had a GSX-R 1000. It was a 2-lane street. The car next to me slowed down to let the car pass by from the opposite side and just cut me off. Bam. Luckily, I didn't get hurt. The bike got totaled though. But that's the number one type of accident. Because if they cut you off, that's it. There's no escape. And always drive defensively. Don't be like, oh, I have a nice bike. A lot of people beep at me and they're like, oh, you have a nice bike. Well, that's awesome. Because yeah, a lot of people do see you and like your bike, but most of the people, they don't give a damn and they don't notice you. So always ride like you're a ghost, like you're invincible, you know, like you're Casper. Okay, number 2, hold the handlebar loose. What happens is if you really grab on the handlebars, your hands will get numb. That's one thing, and you won't be able to control the bike properly. But not only that, you're setting up yourself for bike wobble. So like if you give the bike some gas and it does a little power wheelie and you land down and the handlebars are a little bit off, like you tilt them a little bit, when you land down and your hands are tight, that's gonna make the bike wobble like crazy. Just hold it loosely, like you're holding an egg, you know? It's like you don't have to go too crazy. But you're gonna be like, oh, how am I gonna support my body weight? Not really. Look, I have my hands off. I'm tilting all the way forward. I'm still supporting my body. So what you do is you put pressure on your legs. You squish the bike. That also helps you to not make it wobble as well. So hands loose on the handlebars so you don't get numb and you have good control. And also squish the bike with your leg. I'm not holding the handlebars and look, I can support my body weight. No problem. Okay, now my 3rd tip is going to be how to avoid obstacles that you see suddenly or you have to react really quick. So the technique for that is counter steer. I'm gonna show you a little previous clip. Okay, so I'm trying to avoid something, an obstacle, just by leaning. You can see it takes a lot of effort and time. Whereas you counter steer, it's more instant. As you can see with higher speeds, you cover more distance while trying to leaning. But if you were just to counter steer, it takes less effort and it's quicker. Wow, that was so funny. I know that guy. That's DJ Zoltan. Yeah, you're gonna be in the video, Zoli. I was going dirt biking with him and at the gym. That was so funny. I'm like, why is this guy right next to me all this time and he's not like going or whatever? That was so funny. Right, and the final and 4th tip is your rear tire. I never seen anybody talking about this, or maybe it's been talked really just a tiny bit. So what happens is, let's say you're gonna go out with your buddies for a blast, you know, go do some twisties, whatever, and you're like, all right, let me get the bike ready. You check tire pressure, everything, blah 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 blah. You lube the chain. So that's the dangerous part, when you lube the chain. Okay, well, that's fine, you gotta lube the chain, of course, but the thing is, when you lube the chain and you jump on the highway, you go full throttle, all that grease, it just splashes off, it goes onto your tire, and then when you go to make a left turn, you have all that grease on the tire, and that's gonna be bad news. So what you can do is grease the chain like a couple days earlier or whatever, or when you do lube it, go out for a ride, don't lean on the left side, because all that stuff is going to be in the tire waiting for you. So what you can do is, when you lube the chain, go for a little spin, or lube it a couple days earlier, and don't go too crazy. When you come back home, try to wipe the tire. You can use some alcohol, a rag, something, man. Just take most of that grease off, you know. Okay, that's gonna be it for today. I would like to give you guys a big thank you, my current subscribers. You're not too many, but you guys are like the 300, because I upload a video, I'm seeing views right away, I'm seeing likes, I'm seeing comments, and I like that, and that's what drives the channel. So yes, a big thank you. Like I said, it's a small channel, but I know it's gonna be a monster channel in the coming years, with your support, of course. You guys are my foundation. Okay, and everything takes practice, guys. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna jump on the bike and start like avoiding stuff. It's gonna take you some time. Just practice to counter steer the bike. Practice, that's all it takes. And the handlebars, when you squeeze them, same thing, practice. I know at first you're still gonna be squeezing them, but always remind yourself, oh, I'm squeezing the handlebars, you know, let me loosen up my hands a little bit. Just feel like you're holding an egg, you know. So even me, sometimes when I speed, I notice that I squish my hands on the handlebars. I take a turn and I feel the bike like start wobbling a little bit, and then I remind myself, you know, just loosen your hands, and just, you know, you gotta feather the handlebar.